All right, welcome back to episode 2 here of the Basic Mix series. In the last episode, we did just the drum kit here on this tune, and we're going to move on to bass and guitar. So let me just solo up the bass, and we'll see what's happening with that guy. Cool, great DI bass sound. How about over here where it looks really busy? Yep, okay. Cool. So this is going to be really simple because this already sounds really great. I'm just going to put on a compressor, and we're going to use just the bass DI preset. So the whole point of this series is just trying to be as straightforward and simple as possible. If you missed it in the original video, this is all we're doing here. Levels, panning, EQ, compression, reverb, and delay. I didn't even do any panning on the drums yet. We'll probably get there. So bass DI, compressor is on, and I'm just going to move the threshold till I see a few dB of reduction. It's fine. Check over here. Faster release. Good. So that's decent for compressor, just a little bit of light compression on that bass. Usually if we have a ratio of around 4 to 5 and move the threshold to have 4 to 5 of reduction, that's a kind of compression 101, real basic light compression. Now the next thing though is leveling this with the drums. So typically what I do is listen to the kick and the bass, because those are the two low things together, and get those sort of balanced together. So if I pull the bass all the way out, I'm listening to the sound of the kick, and I'm trying to make the bass sort of work together with it, which might be easier over here when they're working more together. Yeah, I think something like this is going to be what I'm going to want, maybe 10, something like that. If I listen to the rest of the kit with it. Yep, now listening to that whole kit, I kind of want even more kick, so I'm going to listen and pull the whole, everything except the kick and bass down and see where we end up. Good. Now I'm kind of missing some more attack on the kick, so I'm going to listen to these and see which one has the most sort of slap to it. Yeah, so that's going to be the sub. I'm going to pull that out for now. That's the lowest of the low kick. And I'm going to put a limiter on here just because for those listening, it's probably quite quiet. I'm listening quite quiet right now, so I'm just going to put a limiter on the master fader just to turn it up. In fact, you know what I'll do? I will put something even simpler. We're going to do a gain plug-in here just to turn up the output so y'all can hear better, because I've got an output from my headphones right in front of me, and it's pretty loud, but we're just going to turn up a little bit here. So there's the kick. How about this one? Yeah, so this one has some more slap to it, so we're going to try to see if we can bring some of that out. Yeah, it's getting a lot of the snare. This is another situation where I might replace the kick, and I'm going to do a video on drum replacement at some point, but I'm going to avoid that because that's not part of the rules that I set for myself here. Yeah, so the kick just doesn't really have a lot of slap to it, so that's just going to be the way it is. The more I boost the top end of these guys, the more I'm just going to get more snare sound. So in order to fix that, I'm just going to keep the sub kick out of it. Okay, I'm happy with that for now. We're going to revisit this as we go. Okay, so now on to electric guitars. So this is going to be a big portion. We'll see if we get through the whole group of them for the rest of the video, but let's dive right in and see what these guitars are doing. It's clear to me that these two are the same performance, just two different mics. And for the simplicity of this video, I may just use one channel. I'm just going to listen and see how different they are. And that's the same here. Yeah, these are all the same, just different mics. This is a DI, so we might just listen through these and pare them down to keep it simple. But let's take a look. Well, that's crazy because that doesn't even really sound like an electric guitar. Let's listen over here. So that does. Now let's listen to this one. Yeah, I like this one a lot. Sounds a lot more guitar-y, and that's the one I'm going to use for the main one. I'll mix a little bit of this one in because they're similar enough that they can both work. So if we just mix them together. We'll go with that. Now I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to do probably the same -4 and -12 on these two tracks, but let's just listen to them first. So here's the first mic. This one here. Okay, that's a little bit more of a cleaner sound. Yep, so we're going to use this one as the primary one. This one is going to be the -4, and this will be the -12. So I'm just picking the sound that I like better and using that as the main one, and the secondary one is just for color. Okay, now I haven't done level of the guitars relative to anything else, just relative to each other right now. So that's all I'm thinking about. Here's a DI of the same thing we were just listening to. Yeah, so the artist, that's very different sound. A lot of string noise in there and pick noise. The artist is probably going to want that. So I'm just going to mix that in with the two that I've just done, which is these two. Good. So now we have electric guitar 5, which is kind of all by itself. So let's listen to that one. Okay, so this is like a lead. So it's playing along with this. So let's mix it relative to that. Okay, that's a decent mix for those for now. Now we have this last electric guitar. This is a big one. I'm going to listen to the DI first because the DI told me a lot about this one. So we'll go here, listen to this one. Okay, that's crazy loud. Let's pull all three of them down and then listen to it again. Okay, so this is like a peaked distorted. How about this one? Okay, there's some more top end. These two are largely the same. I like this one. So I'm going to go with that one as the main one. So -4 for the main, -12 for the secondary color, and then this one is the DI. Yeah, we'll go -12 on that one too. Okay, and now that kind of covers this first chunk of electric guitars. These are all like the main guitars throughout the whole song, is these guys here. And I know that because I was looking at them earlier in the first episode. The rest of the electric guitars are sort of secondary. So we'll go to this one here, which is secondary to this. So it's going to be mixed relative to these. But first, it's got to be mixed relative to itself. So we'll listen to this. Okay. So we're going to use the amp sound for sure, that top one as the main one. We'll set that one to -4. -12 on the secondary color one. Now, if it looks like I'm doing all this really sort of haphazard, not haphazardly, but sort of maybe it looks careless, I'm doing it really quick without doing a lot of listening, that's the point. I'm getting things organized really quick so we can listen and we have a really nice sound to listen to and do much deeper mixing. If you just listen without doing any of this, it's just a big mess and you don't even know where to start. Okay, and then I'll mix them relative to these. I can go to the mix view to do that. So I'm mixing these three relative to the other ones that are soloed. So I'm mixing these three, which are all selected relative to these. So now that I have them mixed relative to each other, I can pull them down and just add them in as I play. Good. Now, I don't know if that's the right balance, but the point is I can hear them both. That's the point. I'm trying to make sure I can hear everything. All right, so now to this one. Which of these sounds do I like the most? Actually, I like this one the most. I think it's quietest, but it has the most character. So we're going to set that one to -4. Set this one to -12. See how that sounds together. I think that works. And then this one. Yeah, that has a lot of feedbacky sound. So we're going to keep that one a little bit lower. Okay. So now we've got these guys, they're all mixed relative to each other. Now they need to be mixed relative to this, which is happening here. So these three. So I want to turn these up more to hear them more, but the problem is I don't want to go past 0. And if I turn these up, they're no longer mixed properly relative to all the other electric guitars we've done so far. So what's the solution? Well, easy. Take all of the electric guitars we've done so far and pull them down. And then these ones will be louder relative to them. All right, so that should be a good starting place for all of our electric guitars. The next thing to get into is going to be this acoustic guitar, the cellos, stuff like that. It might also be a good time right now to listen to the bass, the electric guitar, and the drums all together. But we will do all of that in the next video.